Good Erev Shabbos. Hey Elul. We are 5 days into the journey already. So to pick up from where we left off last time, we saw that Rabbeinu Yonah designated and framed the existence of Teshuvah as a beneficence, as something which was a tova that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did with his creatures. He lifted a pasuk from this week's parasha, Heichin Lohem Haderech, by the creation of Teshuvah as a concept, before, as it were, the world was created. That means it transcends. It doesn't operate within the norms. It's not limited by the time-bound constraints of cause and effect. It is above and beyond that, and its creation before, i.e. above the normal way that the world works, is a demonstration of Hashem's love for us and the fact that he wants the world to continue. In order for that to happen, there has to be a way to crawl back, so to speak, into the world via hanging ourselves up on that little leg of the hay with which he created the world. And that is what is meant at the beginning of the text. Ki heichin lohem haderech. He then highlights four aspects, if you like, of how Teshuvah operates, and we're not going to spend too much time on those at the moment. I'll just mention them very briefly. The one in yellow, you can lift yourself up, you can elevate yourself from the lowliness that Aveira drags you down, and Teshuvah allows you to elevate yourself once again. Incidentally, perhaps it's worth mentioning, Rabbeinu Ephraim, one of the Bali Tosfos, has a little known Roshei Tevis, an acronym for Elul, which is beautiful. Again, it really should be a fridge magnet. Elul, he says, is echod lechatos ve'echod le'olah. That is essentially one. It's a reference to karbonos, but think of it conceptually. It's the sur meira v'asei tov, the ability to wipe away the bad, the negative, the past, ve'echod le'olah, and then to uplift and to elevate ourselves. We always need to have an eye to the future to be able to lift ourselves up. Velonus in the green, velonus mipachpish ayem, to escape, to flee from being ensnared by negative behavior, habits, thought patterns. It's very hard to reverse those, and Teshuvah allows us to recreate ourselves, rebuild these neural pathways, these behavior traits. Lachshech nafsham, and now I want to concentrate on the last two. Lachshech actually. Lachshech nafsham mini shachas, to save our souls from destruction, and to reverse the flow of divine anger upon us. And this, again, this is lifted from the pasuk we say in the introduction to Mariv every evening. We'll talk about this perhaps on another occasion. There are four elements here as well, although they don't correspond to these particular four. But I've color-coded them for the sake of simplicity. So that's lachshech nafsham mini shachas, so that we don't get destroyed. And to roll back HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to reverse the divine anger. So let's now bring it all together. The summary points here are as follows. First of all, Rabbeinu Yonah talks about motivation. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create Teshuvah? What's the motivation? And he has Teshuvah is as goodness, min hatoivos. What is it? He's prepared a pathway. He didn't just do that, but he also taught and warned. Limdom v'his hiram, that's in the gray further down. What are the advantages of Teshuvah? It elevates. It enables us to escape negative routines, avoid annihilation, and reverse divine wrath. And now we come to the next element, which I'd like to open up, which we'll discuss a bit more next week, which is absolutely fascinating. He brings a proof text to all of this. And here he adds a word. Notice in the introduction, he talks about Hashem's goodness. Yeah. And then he adds something. Go to the word, the second the bit of yellow, instructing performance of Teshuvah, it seems, is a function of Hashem being not just tov, not just good, and desiring and wanting good, but also a function of something else called Yoshroi, Hashem's being straight. Yoshar, Shenemar, and here's the proof text. Here he brings a proof that Hashem is both good and straight. Pasuk in Tehillim, Toiv v'Yoshar Hashem. Hashem is both good and Yoshar. Al-Kain, therefore, Yoyrech hatoim badorech. Therefore, he shows us the way to Teshuvah. My question that I want to leave you with, as the 5 minutes are basically up, is, we are told to emulate Hashem, and we're told v'osisa, look in the left column here, v'osisa hayoshar v'hatov. We are meant to do that which is straight and good. Notice the reverse order. Hashem is tov v'yoshar, and we are enjoined, we are exhorted to copy him, to emulate him, and to be hayoshar v'hatov. And the question I want to leave you with is, why the reverse order? Have a wonderful, uplifting Shabbos.